Hello, and welcome to another one of my crazy experiments where I build an instrument designed to terrify and astound. The goal of this project will be to make an instrument that can create horror movie sound effects. You've seen me make 3 of these in the past. I'm gonna do a little bit different thing this time where I actually show the building process of my horror instrument. A few different pieces here I want to work with. First being this little toy shield I bought, $2. It's a pretty flimsy piece of wood. I want this to be the main body of the instrument. I've got these fan blades that I would like to use to reinforce this wood in the back. Once I have them attached, I've got these guitar tuners. These are probably the most expensive piece in this project. Those are off of a Gibson SG. Bam. I switched the tuning pegs out for locking tuners, so I just have these sitting around, and we're gonna put them to use finally. So the plan is have a fan blade going on either side, like that. I have no idea what this is. Block of wood, it's got this, I don't know, it's a bunch of metal. You can go like this. Ooh. I'm assuming if I put this right in the middle here, run that guitar string through here, maybe it'll resonate on that metal and make something cool happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. First obstacle to overcome, these little leather loops where you would hold this shield. If you were a child, it could maybe fit up your arm. I don't really understand shield technology. I just work here. They're a little too close together for the fan blade to fit between them. I can't do it. It's just, it ain't happening, right? My instinct is to cut these off of here. They're held on with these rivets, and off camera I tried with all of my might to pull them off of here. I'm kind of afraid that I'm gonna break this shield wide open doing that. So we'll have to either find another way or just deal with it. I'm a big advocate for safety. We're gonna use our protective equipment of these safety glasses. I have a box cutter. I don't have tools. We're doing our best. Should really have like cut gloves or something on. Using a tool for what it's not designed for is not a high IQ move, but I'm not exactly a high IQ fellow. Oh, we're getting there. Yeah. To quote James Hetfield, yeah! So I realized after using this as a saw to get that first strap off, I thought back to my days as a student in an anatomy and physiology class, and our teacher showing us the correct use of a scalpel being just move it one way toward you. Don't saw. This is not a saw. This is a surgical instrument. If you just follow those guidelines, you too can slice through leather with nothing but a box cutter. Bam. So I'm gonna take a look in this little tackle box of terror and see what have we got to affix the fan blade to the shield. I don't want to use nails. So my thinking with this, right, is that the fan blade can be like that, and I can bend the fan blade with my body by pushing it against me, and this will kind of do a whammy bar effect with that guitar string. I can't do that if there's nails poking through this thing, because I will just impale myself, and I will make some horrific noises, but that's not the goal here. So we're gonna drill some guiding holes in here using a small drill bit. I was taught how to do this once upon a time by my roommate, and she's not here, but like just being in the same household, you pick up some stuff, right? We're gonna see if we can't drill through this table while we're at it. I don't really care about it. I was gonna throw it away anyway, so gets a hole in it. Who cares? Call the cops. I dare yas. I do have 4 lovely holes in my table now, but as we said before, this was a bad table to begin with. I don't really care, because I'm a cool guy and it's not cool to care. Like that was my special technique for clearing dust. You can try it yourself. You might not get the same results as me because I'm clearly an evolved being with superior lung strength. or something. Ah, crud. It doesn't run completely straight with this. Ugh, this shoddy detective work is what this is. I'm trying to think, do I unscrew these and fix them, or just F it, you know? Let's fix this. We ought to fix it. I screwed up the whole thing with, measure twice, drill a hole through your table once. I measured 0 times and drilled 4 holes in my table. Now here we are. So as you've probably guessed, I have no prior woodworking experience or art or really anything. I just do my best. Get off my back a little bit, would ya? The other thing I didn't think of, I lined this up with these leather straps. They're not at all the same thickness as each other. Shoddy detective work once again, copper and all. You're not my real chief. Straight enough. I know several people watching this are woodworkers and artists, and I'm probably just absolutely killing your soul right now. But you know what? You have tools you need to do this and honestly make better, cooler things than what I'm doing. So you're welcome. You just had to believe in yourself, you bunch of nerds. And now, once again, we will drill some fan blades into this dealio. I seem to have lost a fan blade I dropped on the floor earlier, and ha-ha! Surprise! Are you lined up properly? That was my Jon Snow impression. It was pretty bad, but so was Game of Thrones. Okay, let's see. I gotta get that first drill bit out. I'm gonna drill some holes in this thing. Some guiding holes, I think is the proper term. I'm not in the industry. I don't know industry terms. It's pretty appropriate I was quoting Jon Snow since I know nothing. Let's see what we can do. Drill some holes in the table. You know what? I've had it with this. Screw this! Okay, and screw you. More and screw you. That's a pretty reinforced shield with a fan blade behind it, by my calculations. This is turning out to be a pretty sick guitar. But we're not making a guitar. We're making an instrument of pain, of terror, of, I don't know, something else scary. This next part will be difficult. I don't really have a ton of space to work with here. It kind of goes way off both sides of my table here. I gotta find 4 more screws in the tackle box of terror. This isn't a tackle box. It's not particularly terrifying. But I'm building a horror instrument and I gotta stay on theme, damn it. And screw you. Oh, this shield is totally not gonna be supported. That's what we got so far. See what we can do about this middle part, I don't know. I guess what I could do is take another fan blade. I bought a 5-pack of fan blades for like $4. Pretty good deal. Bridge that gap with another fan blade. I could stick that piezo pickup underneath that fan blade, facing the shield. Let's drill those other 2 screws in now that I've got that piezo pickup in place. As you can see, those 2 fan blades are not quite lined up, but I don't care. You know? I can find a way to fix this to the shield. Also, this is on like a little track here. It just slides right off. So I might have to find a way to lock that just so this doesn't slide off. I'm gonna take a couple minutes and see what I need to do to make these tuners stick to the fan blades, if it's even a viable option here. This fits through the hole in the end of the fan blade. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't necessarily need to use these tuners. In the past, I haven't used any sort of tuning mechanisms on my instruments. I've just kind of wrapped strings around a piece of metal or a screw, called it a day. But you don't have the ability to fine tune it the way you would like. What I'm gonna do next is fix this to the shield. I'm gonna take this piece off for now. So I'm only working with the wooden block. Maybe we'll drill some guiding holes. I am all about these guiding holes. Make our life easier. By our, I mean mine. I'm the only person here. I promise I'm not crazy. Oh my goodness. Well, I broke a drill bit. This isn't my drill. Haley, I'm so sorry. This is so far my least successful horror instrument. Can make some cool noises, just that on its own. Definitely resonates through the wood a lot. I gotta figure out now how to get some guitar strings attached to this. You don't really need to use guitar strings. You can use wire of any kind. It's just regular string. Strips of leather work really well. Something that you can have like a little bit of tension on. You can pluck it or scrape something against it. And it'll make some real creepy noises. I have here several packs of guitar strings. So we don't have to go with a traditional guitar tuning. In fact, on previous instruments have had it tuned so low it's not tuned to really any note. It's supposed to just be something that the string is just fluttering a lot and it's not a pleasant sound. That's the goal. Something I didn't really think of. I may have to change my plan a little bit here. So that's a problem. So I just want to show you top of the string. I'm going to put the top of that fan blade. Bottom of it does not reach by several inches. I could drill a hole about halfway through the fan blade, attach the string here, make some sort of makeshift bridge in the middle, and have it attach again up at the top so it kind of bends and goes back down the other side. I'll show you what I'm talking about for those of you who don't play guitar or any string instrument. The strings coming out at the bottom here, they kind of go over the top of this part to hold them up off of the body and the neck here. Top, you've got the nut. Just another piece to allow the strings to lay flat over this, and then they can bend here to go down to the tuning pegs. I need a piece like that. I don't want to do this just like a guitar, so I'm not going to have two pieces, one on either end. I think I'm going to just think of this as the midway point, which would be on that block of wood. Have the strings attach here, pivot there, and then go into the tuning pegs. And then one more thing I gotta do. Find a way to fix this into that block of wood so it doesn't keep plopping out every time I grab it by this piece, because my natural instinct has been to grab it right there. Maybe I just gotta stop doing that. But I'd like to idiot-proof this thing, or we're gonna Brent-proof this. Like, it's not completely stationary, but it's also not going anywhere, really. Good enough for Brent. I guess probably the most important part of this is it's going to be frustrating. We're not really going off of any sort of guidelines. I'm sure some exist, but I'm not looking at them. Point is, just keep trying until you find something cool. That's all I do. And I'm clearly a genius, so you should listen to me. Using my fancy analog power drill here. That's cool. I need to find some other piece of wood to elevate this string off of that block in the middle. I found this little wooden box. One of the pieces on this ought to be something I can carve a hole into, or a little groove just to fit the string in. Okay, a couple of these already have like little grooves cut like that. That string will fit right through that. Groove might just be a little bit too big. I'm gonna see, I have a Dremel sitting around somewhere. I'm gonna grab that. On my search for the Dremel, which I never actually found, I found a clothespin. These have that little groove on the top. This might work as a makeshift bridge if I'm just doing one string. There's a bunch of glue stuck in this. This was glued onto like a yardstick previously as part of an art project, I'm assuming. Bought at Goodwill to take apart and build an instrument out of. You can use each of the pieces, one on either end of this. If I do that, there's some other cool stuff we can do with this string. The string from the block of wood to wherever it connects over here will be a certain pitch. And then on the other side, the same thing from the block of wood to wherever that connects. Might be a different pitch if I don't perfectly measure out the distance so they are exactly the same. From one side of the block of wood to the other, that little piece of string like that will be a higher pitch, but it'll be another note. Ooh. We'll finding fun noises already. Nailed it! This is why nobody talks to me. The guitar string should sit between the grooves on these. So I'm thinking, get the tuner sitting about there. I have to like drill a hole so this part you actually like manipulate will not be touching the wood. I guess also what I could do is just chop off the end of this. That's not a big deal either. I don't really have like a saw or anything, so that would be like, let's just drill a bunch of holes until I can break it with my hands. I may as well just do that. So my goal now is to try to find a way to get tuner attached somewhere at the bottom of this other tuner set up at the top, the way I can tighten it from either end. Not typically how you do a guitar string, but who cares? We can do what we want. Call the police, see if I care, see if they care. Alright, so my thinking here is I wedge a few little pieces of wood from that box and I can screw the tuning peg right into that, and I can reinforce this stack of wood with another screw on the other side, kind of hold everything in place here a little better. As you can see, sawdust is a problem and I don't have anything to deal with that, so we're just gonna vacuum the floor later, like months from now probably. I want to clamp these 3 separate pieces of wood to the instrument here before I start screwing holes into it. And since I don't own things like tools or clamps or really anything that I should own for this kind of a project, I'm going to use the tools that I do have. As a guitarist, I have capos laying around. That baby ain't going anywhere. I'll have to just get a picture of my table after we're done, because it's like hole, 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 hole. Yeah, we'll play golf here pretty soon. Got ourselves a locking tuner on that one. That's not a locking tuner, never mind. Locking tuner is what I replaced these with on the SG. This is that ruler thing I was talking about earlier that all these clothespins were attached to. I'm gonna try just breaking this into smaller chunks to kind of do the same thing I did on that end with the tuning peg. This one I think we'll just screw it onto the top of this board. Could also use a saw. I don't own one, so just gotta be a real tough guy, I guess. So I just want to say real quick, if you guys need someone to like work on your guitars, you need some minor repairs and stuff, probably don't come to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna mess up your stuff. You're not gonna want it back. So as I just got done saying, I put this part on backward and now the tuning peg won't turn because it's black wood on the wrong side. Sloppy work once again. Hope you're loving the view of my armpit. You get what you paid for, right? And I'm not getting paid for this, so. I have both of those pieces of wood attached. Can freely spin. Tuning peg. Exactly what we were shooting for. Good job, everybody. I did it. I am being very mindful of where my fingers are in the back of this. I'm not in danger of drilling through my fingers unless something terribly catastrophic were to happen. But that never happens, right? So something to be mindful of. Gotta make sure the string ends up going through the grooves I made in this makeshift bridge. Just kind of gotta keep an eye on that string, like I said. It'll just go all sorts of places without even asking your permission. It's garbage. Something to consider if you don't work with guitar strings much. The ends are sharp, they hurt. Alright. I think this is about what I was shooting for. Gonna stop here for the day. I'm gonna film some footage once I've had a chance to really mess around with this. We'll just get a quick look over here.